think it was the Twin Viper Riven mod, I turned around and said, actually, since the Riven mods came out, because it was the first useful one I actually got my hands on, I've said I'll finally get round to doing this, but to be fair, I've recently just lost every single bit of footage I had of this working in different ways and different situations, so this is going to be kind of awkward to pull off. Why am I standing there? I need to be over here. But I have this. It adds punch through, magazine capacity, it does add weapon recoil, which, to be fair, is not as bad as it sounds, but it also adds 159.2% damage to the Braton. Remembering that the Braton Prime I use a lot. Why the hell have you formatted your Braton Prime 9 times? Originally, I formatted it 8 times to fit a weird build on for the whole forming things 8 time challenge that I did that to the Braton because I use it all the time. And it's not that good of a weapon. It has a neutral Riven disposition, which means you're not going to get amazing Rivens for it, but you're not going to get weak ones either. Just kind of mid-range, hence the damage isn't really that much. But considering just... wait. Oh, okay. I thought I had 2 there. But considering just throwing this on, it was a 18-point mod. It has never been rolled. Not once. I probably will never roll it simply because it has the magazine capacity, punch through, and damage on it. Don't care about the weapon recoil at all, that can be easily countered. It's the fact that it has damage, punch through, and increases the magazine capacity, taking it from 75 to 107. Without the mod installed, shooting at range, just kind of shooting this one position without touching anything, moving anything, and emptying the magazine into it. This is what the grouping, if you will, is like. Kind of a similar area to where it was before, and just kind of open fire and see if there's at all a difference between the grouping. Of course, this is going to fire a lot more bullets, and I'm not adjusting it at all, just to see if the recoil changed anything. If anything, that's actually a better grouping than it seems to have less recoil. Maybe the added recoil has made it better to aim this thing, but the grouping seems a little bit more wide. You can see there's got some at the side here and some on here that they were all kind of grouped in the middle. And I did try to aim in roughly the same place. I even went back and looked at where I aimed in the previous one just to make sure it was just above center. Putting the Riven actually into this, and I am aware that my build is not exactly the best, but I like it like this. I'm fine with it like this. Though, to be fair, I wish I could figure out what to put in the extra V slot rather than a rifle ammo mutator. That's just there because with this mod in, it burns through ammo so quickly, having a magazine capacity of 107. I've only got to reload it 2 or 3 times. And now actually I remember that is in here, I kind of wish that I'd picked up the primed one when Barrow was here at the weekend. I didn't even think about that at the time, but it's a V polarity, so that's kind of a pain. But taking the Riven out again and aiming this at a 145 heavy gunner, you can see it will eventually take them out. That's 1 magazine, half the health. And I've got to reload and continue firing. I'm trying to avoid the headshots apart from when he ducked there, though I started with it. That's a magazine and a half to take them out. Yeah, must remind you, level 145 heavy grenadier. Forming it for the D to fit this on was a bit of a pain, but if I open fire again, this will probably take about the same length of time to actually take them down. Though, that was 1 magazine, and I'm still firing, and gone. That is why I kind of put my Vacor heck away, and continued running around with the Braton Prime once more. That was less than a magazine, and a level 145 heavy grenadier. Even though this thing did have corrosive on it, that's an easy element to swap out for any other element you want to put on this. I did sacrifice the fact this had 2 elements on it to forma the D onto it. It was a huge leap of faith doing this, because even though it adds 159.2% damage, it messed up the build completely. I wouldn't be able to fit what I had on back on. But to be fair, it worked out pretty well. It added way more damage than I expected. The 42.5% magazine capacity was also going to be a bonus. I didn't know it was going to work out as well as it actually did. And the punch through, though it's great for crowd control, isn't something I was really caring about until I started to use it and realised, yeah, this is why people keep telling me that punch through is actually a fairly useful mod to have. As for the weapon recoil, I've said before though, that is a huge downside to this particular Riven, which has never been rolled. And I know I can roll it, it won't cost that much Kuva. You can roll it, and if you don't like what you get, you can always keep what you have and then just keep trying to roll it, try and get something better. But this just landed in kind of the... what's the best way to put it? Yeah, it'll do, I'll try that kind of zone. And it worked. This thing has made me do what Rivens were meant to do. I went back to a weapon I haven't used properly in a long time and start using it as my day-to-day weapon, because it works so well. I really was glad that I managed to get a hold of a fairly decent one. Obviously there are better Rivens out there, which is why I was, as I say, could roll it again. Massive leap of faith putting the 9th forma on this as well, but I don't really regret it at all. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.